out. Here's trouble. G'day, legends. Time for a bit of Jim Does Supercoach, AFL SUPERCOACH as we head into round 11. Quick show for you today. I'm going to go jump on a plane to go gallivant around the US and see some basketball pretty soon. So I'm just going to quickly hit on a couple of the issues out there for SUPERCOACH this week, what we did last week, trade thoughts, and just like a bit of the team reveal. Just a quick one. So how do we start every show? With Jim Does Supercoach, we check how we did last week. And I'll tell you what, midfield-mageddon this week. A lot of our primo midfields underperforming. Not a great vibe out there with a lot of them. I'll get to that in a second. But I managed to pull off a 2276, so 2,276, which ranked top 9%. Moved me up 7,500 ranks overall to 17,399. So I'm actually now up in the top 10%, which is good. Top 9% overall. But mostly, how did this all happen? Well, I managed to pull off the VC loop with Grundy. Why is that good, Jim? Well, he had 203 points. So that was pretty good. This is also, I think, the value of having the floating donut that we talked about last week, right? So I managed to pull off the floating donut with Kalani White. Obviously, putting the VC on Grundy on Friday. Friday, there you go. For Swans Magpies, this is even before Oscar Steen goes down with his ACL, which is very sad and very bad, obviously. But yeah, I felt pretty good that Grundy would have a big game against one of his old teams, and he did, and then put up a absolute whopper, a flame-grilled whopper, if you will. So in the meantime, while like the likes of Bont, Dacos, folks across the board kind of stinking it up, even Archie Roberts didn't crack the ton, of course, because I've traded him in. So, yeah. But Grundy saved me. So, that's okay. Felt all right about that. Even having Leo Lombard on field for this week for me really, really helped with his 90. I managed with the Will Edwards 50, the Sellwood 50, whatever. Milan Murdoch dropped off with a 38. But otherwise, 2276, I think, with all the carnage, I was okay with all of this. Especially with some of the the sort of rookies and co that I traded out last week and the week prior. Like Lindsay's still going very well. Jack Carroll was again very good, but they're out of my team now. You can't cry over spilt milk. And meanwhile, you've got the likes of Blamires losing money and stuff. So I was okay with some of my moves to get Archie Roberts in this week, to get Will Edwards in as a bit more of a cash cow, and to have Kalani White as the sort of 99k DPP rolling donut very much helped. So that was a bit of a win. So I'll take the double 203 from Grundy, pull that off. So I guess what we're looking at this week is really, really simple. I mean, if you look at the traded in, traded out players, which is what we do here on Jim Does Supercoach, the traded in this week, I mean, a lot of it is sort of really speculative rookies. So I'll get to that in a second. Traded out is, again, I kind of feel like we've got a couple of jumping the guns here, but I'll get to that. Number one most traded out at the moment is Milan Murdoch, who kicked had an incredible end to that game, but only managed a 38 for the Eagles, and probably a lot of that was to do with the 100-meter penalty he gave away. He's at 307k and 14,000 trades so far. His break-even's only 55. He plays the Pies this week. I'm pretty content to hold Milan Murdoch for maybe one more with that break-even of 55. His last run of weeks, this is his only bad score. So I feel like that's jumping the gun a little bit. 110, 92, 85, 67, 61, 93, 38. So I think against Collingwood, then he's got a run against Essendon, Port Adelaide and North and the Blues. I feel like we get another spike score from Milan Murdoch this week. I'm going to keep him. Tom Blamires is being traded out. That makes sense. He started to lose money now. His break-even's crept up. I jumped off last week before the money sort of stopped rolling in. You can jump off him. Now, Oscar Steen, obviously out for the season. He was awesome, but 217. Made a bit of money over the season, but yeah, he was one of the ones that I was looking at bringing in. I never pulled the trigger. I think I just got Angry Anderson and not Oscar Steen. Bit of a bullet dodge for me, but if you've got him, he's gone. Brayden Cook is another one that's being traded out. He's at 384. Break-even now has crept up to 74. They play in Tassie this week against the Hawks. Break-even to 74. Look, he's gone 94, 88, 70 his last 3 weeks. He doesn't have the massive, giant, humongous, ton yet. down at UTAS, I'm just saying, I'm not going to be jumping off Brayden Cook, I reckon, this week. It is very tempting. But I think this is the one week that I might be keeping powder dry. I'll get to that in a second. Todd Marshall's being traded out. If he doesn't get a game against the Blues this week, there's something wrong. Lockie Jacks, he's going out as well. That's fine. He's getting bevoed. Sam Cumming, that was the other tough one. He copped a corky on the weekend. If you've just traded him, he's already made 47K, but that's the risk of getting those higher priced rookies into your team. If they do cop an injury and they miss a week or two, it really, really stymies their scoring, because he already has a break-even of 63 after scoring a 40 before getting injured the other day. They've got the Essendon Dreamtime of the G game this week, obviously. Sam Cumming felt like a really good idea, but 32 and 40 the last 2 weeks. The cash absolutely dried up very quickly. I also didn't have Cumming or Grill, who's another one who you can jump off at the moment now as well. He's the 9th most traded out player between the Sellwood, who's hit his break-even as well. The average and the break-even are basically the same. Grill and Cumming are really, really tough ones for Tigers supporters and for super coaches. Cumming, it's a watch and sort of see how he comes up from that corky. Don't know. Grill, that's a bit of a tough one as well. But he's just not averaging very well. And Philippou, he actually went up this week. He's at 332. Don't know why you're trading him out. What's his break-even? Let's have a look. 61. Playing Freo over there. Maybe. I think he can maybe still make a little bit of money, but there's the 10 most traded out. The traded in so far, Jack Ison. He's played the one game. He was awesome for the Blues, my beloved Blues. I'm wearing the hat right now. It's one game, though. We'll see. Like, Josh Fraser's taken over there in Carlton. Who knows what's going to happen in the next coming weeks. If he does get named, you can probably jump on him and feel okay about it. But, yeah, it's always the risk of getting the 2 games played under the belt and then he doesn't play again. But looking at you, Wade Dirksen. Bodie Ryan has also been the second most traded in. He's got a break-even of minus 14. He's played the 2 games. He has 27 and 59 against the Ds. It's just the Hawks defenders. He might get Perez'd, so I'll be steering clear of him maybe, I reckon, as well. Bailey Smith's the 3rd most traded player in as well this week. He's just going absolutely over his head. He's only got a break-even 96, so it feels like he's not going to get too much cheaper than his 650 right now. What is he, 650? Oh, wait, 628. Yeah, it's actually not too bad. He just had 130 and 154, absolutely hitting his straps. Now plays down at Taxpayer Park. He's got the Swans and the Blues at the G. Adelaide Oval. Yeah, it's an interesting little run. If you can jump on him, that's probably one of the primo bets right there, and that's why he's getting in there. Charlie Banfield, another one for the Saints. Break-in of 0 because he's only scored the 48 in the one game that he played. Again, seems a bit risky without the sort of run of form. Dirksen still being traded in as a cheapie defender if he gets a game this week. Rankin's probably one of the better ones as well. Feels like he's going to be a top 6 forward. Obviously, he was awesome again this week. He's got a break-even of 39. So this is the one thing that I'm looking at this week. If I do cash in Sellwood and Brayden Cook, if I'm going to Rankin, now is the time to do it because he scored another 110 on the weekend against the Roos, went up another 30K. It's going to get a lot harder to get him in the team if you don't jump on now. So that's probably the one move that I'll be looking at this week. Callum Wilkie, I mean, he's traded in. He's dropped down to 463. He's got a break-even of 145, though. Probably stay clear. J-Mac at 471. Not bad. Break-even of 84. He had a good game this week. Managed the 137 against the Pies. He was everywhere. And then you got Noah Anderson. Not bad. Had a really good game up north. Now they play the Roos down here in Marvel. At 145 and 134, the 2 games in Darwin. He loves Darwin, does Noah Anderson. Still probably a pretty good look for your midfield. What's his ownership stats at the moment? I mean, yeah, it's not too bad. He's in 12% of team, so it's a little bit of a pod. Anyway, so out of all of this, all I'm kind of looking at this week, it's really thin on the ground for cash cows, right? So I think if you're trying to... Like that's why you have the likes of Jack Ison getting traded in, even Dirksen, because it feels like a bit of an upgrade downgrade. So, you're going to J-Mac, you're going to Bailey Smith. We're obviously, going to Isaac Rankin. And essentially that's the only trade I'm sort of looking at this week. I'm really contemplating just keeping the powder dry. I've got 19 trades left, 1 boost remaining. Would like to have one of these weeks pre-buys where I don't use 2 of these trades so we can actually go a little bit hammer and tongs and maybe just eke out a hint more cash out of the likes of like Sellwood. he's scored 50. His average is 59. His break-even's 58. And when we get to that exact moment of break-even and the average are the same, that's when they're going to start losing cash. Sellwood's probably the first one in the gun for me. As a defender, it's a bit of a tough one. I've still got Naz on my bench. That's okay. Todd Marshall, if he plays this week, it'd be really handy because his break-even is not too bad. I think it's only 32. And if he plays against the Blues, he could tear him apart. So I'm okay with Marshall still there. Sellwood's probably the first one to go. Outside of that, I'm very happy keeping Milan Murdoch. I think he could still put up a pretty big score against the Pies this week. I'm okay with all of that. I think he can still make us a little bit of money. Brayden Cook, now he managed a 70 on the weekend. That's the other one where I think his average is 78. His break-even is 74. So now that that's kind of met in the middle, the one move that I'd be looking at this week is probably going from Brayden Cook at 384 across to Rankin. And then I've got I've got 5 decent-ish forwards, including Stupid Sexy Flanders. Sellwood would be the other one. So I'll be looking at Cook out, Sellwood out, Rankin in. Whitfield had a rough week this week as well, and so did Ash, and so did Callahan, actually. So GWS did not cover themselves in glory out west. So the thing is, what takes precedence, forward, defender? For me, it's probably trying to jump on a couple of the cheapy forwards for the minute because, with Shai Bolton, he had 77 this week. He dropped 5K. That was always sort of going to happen. I'm much more concerned about Rankin getting too pricey in the next few weeks. I really wish I'd listened to myself last week and jumped on Johnny Noble, 161. Told you he was awesome. The weapon. But otherwise, Rankin, he's the one that I'm sort of basically kicking all the tyres on and will be trying my absolute hardest to get in. So for Brayden Cook and Sellwood out, with Rankin coming in at 493, it just sort of leaves me with that one defensive rookie that I'd have to look at. And whether or not that would be Dirksen if he gets named, or switching out Zakatalski into the defense and hoping that Marshall gets named, slending Kalani White into the ruck as my backup, and then trying to get a mid-forward like Banfield or somebody. Because Ison, I think it's just a bit hard for me to get Ison in the team this week. So I think I'd be fingers crossed Dirksen gets named. I'd throw him on there, and away we go. Because the forward rookies at this point don't look entirely enticing. So I think, that's about where I'd land. Just Dirksen has been so good in the VFL for the Blues that it'd be interesting to see how long it takes your man Josh Fraser to go, oh, right, I should get my guy in. So in terms of other sort of forward sort of prospects for cash cows, it's like Paddy Cross. He's already played the 4 games though. Liam Reedy's still cheap, but there's not a giant amount on the bubble. Hussein Al-Akbar, he's out there still. So, bit light on the ground, however. So, I think it's all going to come down to simply going, right, do I want to keep the powder dry? Do I rank it in the team right now? They do play Hawthorn in Tassie this week. His break-even's only 39 though, so it's going to be pretty tough to get up to him. And with Cook and Sellwood probably topping out around their sort of respective prices, time to jump off is probably now. So basically to come down to me pulling the pin on Cook and Sellwood, bringing in Rankin and Dirksen, or just no trades this week and hoping that Rankin has a bit of a stinker down in Tassie. What do you reckon? Yeah. But that's it. Righto, that's the team for this week. So in terms of captaincies and vice-captaincies, I think I had the captain this week looked like we're going to go to probably Bont up against the Ds for the minute, but that was probably with a VC thrown on Archie Roberts down back up against the Tigers. He could get 1 million points on Friday night at Dreamtime of the G. I mean, this last week was obviously his second lowest score of the year, but the dude has ripped off a 136, a 145, a 140, and a 151. So against the Tigers, I reckon Archie gets plenty of the pill. So I'm going to throw the VC on him, maybe loop somebody. So who's playing late? You've got Kalani White and the D's playing on the Sunday, which is why I brought in Kalani White. A lot of the Sunday games, pretty handy. Naz obviously plays the Friday night as well, so it's going to be a bit tricky. Saturday night for Todd Marshall and co. So I think Archie with a VC, and then I was looking at probably it was going to be, I think, the Bont up against the Ds, but then The other one was probably going to be Butters against the Blues at home against Adelaide Oval. He's been absolutely unreal. He just feels like he's so solid, and the Blues, I don't know if they're about to stop him, especially at home. So Archie into Butters because, yeah, the Grundy-Jackson matchups are a bit tough this week. I think Grundy plays Geelong at GMHBA. The Geelong ruck stocks aren't crash hot. He could go massive again, so it's not a bad one. But the GMHBA thing just always sort of throws me for the opposition. So you just don't know what will happen down there. Whereas Luke Jackson, the Dockers have got St Kilda on Friday night. So, yeah, I'm going to have Archie playing at the same time. So it takes him out of the equation. But there you go. So, happy to trade Sellwood. Happy to trade Cook. Keeping Lockie McAndrew as well after his big week this week. Got a break even 54. Milan Murdoch I'm keeping as well. And really, if we don't have Dirksen playing, I might even just save the trades this week. So, there you go. But that's it. All right, I'm going to go jump on a plane and head off to the US of A. So here's to a big round 11 for everybody. This has been Jim Does Supercoach. What we'll do next week as well, I'll pop in for another really brief one from a hotel room in New York. Just say g'day. But that'll be it. All right. Until then, this has been Jim Does Supercoach. Happy Supercoaching.